Trump snaps back at Zelensky, blaming Ukraine for the war. President Donald Trump mocked Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky as a poor negotiator and grossly incompetent Tuesday as tensions continue to rise over the administration's direct talks with Russia about ending the war it launched nearly 3 years ago. The comments come amid criticism from European allies and many American intelligence experts that Ukraine and European nations invested in Ukraine's defense had been excluded from the negotiations that began early Tuesday between U.S. and Russian officials in Saudi Arabia. Asserting that the initial round of talks had gone very well, Trump bristled at the Zelensky frustration over being excluded at the Ukrainian president's decision not to fly to Riyadh for additional talks with the U.S. delegation this week. Today, I heard, oh, well, we weren't invited, Trump said when asked about the criticism from Ukraine seeming to direct his response to Zelensky. Well, you've been here for 3 years. You should have ended it. 3 years. You should have never been there. Never been there. You should have never started it. You should have made a deal. The comment ignoring that it was Russia that invaded Ukraine without provocation 3 years ago this month was Trump's harshest condemnation to date of the Ukrainian side. It came as Zelensky and leaders across Europe are scrambling to respond to a growing indication that Kiev's most critical ally for the last 3 years appears to be more interested in normalizing relations with Russia than in making sure Ukraine endures, and that Russian President Vladimir Putin faces stronger deterrence after starting the first land war on European soil since 1945.
And then we're going to play the video really quick. Donald Trump actually saying that. Here we go.
And I think it's going very well. But today I heard, oh, well, we weren't invited. Well, you've been there for 3 years. You should have ended it 3 years. You should have never started it. You could have made a deal. I could have made a deal for Ukraine that would have given them almost all of the land. Everything, almost all of the land, and no people would have been killed, and no city would have been demolished, and not one dome would have been knocked down. But they chose not to do it that way. And President Biden, in all fairness, he doesn't have a clue what he was so bad for.
And so that was Donald Trump coming out and saying that about Zelensky. You know, even we know it's a lie. We know who started the war. We all saw in the beginning, just like we saw who started January 6th. Anyway. Ex-Vice President Mike Pence came out. He said, yo, Mr. President, and I put this up here, Ukraine did not start the war. Russia launched an unprovoked and brutal invasion, claiming hundreds and thousands of lives. The road to peace must be built on the truth.
Yeah, this is sad, man. This is a sad time in America right now.
I find it exciting.
And what really gets to me is that half this country are people who should never. I don't even say you shouldn't be able to vote because that's your right as an American citizen. But you guys are the worst thing for this country. I won't even say it's Trump. It's y'all. It's really y'all. Your hate and your vitriol and your ignorance is what really hurts this country. Period. You don't care about your country. You've shown me that already because we all know that Russia has never been an ally of ours and they can never be an ally of ours. It's just not in the cards. It's not anyone's fault. It's just what it is.
Well, you know what? I'll say it like this. You know, we watched the video the other day. Maybe we'll bring it up and show it again. But it's like, you know, this guy, he explained it quite perfectly. He said, this is who we are as America. He said, look, a quarter of the people came out and said, nah, we don't want this. A quarter of our population. A little bit over a quarter came out and said, we want this. And the other half of America said, I don't care either way what happens. You know what I'm saying? We're all here to blame for this.
You know what? I'm not.
I mean, not all of us. There's good people.
I don't feel like I'm to blame. I feel you. Hey, I've been railing against this for a while.
Yeah, we have. You know there's good people here in the country, but we don't outsmart. We don't outnumber the people that are bad. Look, only less than half the American population that's eligible voters voted. You know what I'm saying? You have half of America that was like, I don't care either way. And some people are being affected. You're not going to see the effects. When summer hits, it's going to be a long summer for all of us.
Like you said, man, like during the election, this is something that, you know, a lot of people probably don't catch, but they talk about it now. You're like, where are the 20 million voters, I think like 15 or 20 million voters that voted in the last election? I mean, it was like a good number because I know that I think that Joe Biden had like 81 or something million people. I mean,
Donald Trump didn't get more votes.
I think he got like 2 million more. They said he got 77, but you never know. I got that number from a person.
79 last time. I think Joe Biden got like 86 or something like that. He actually got
last time.
He got less votes this time. It's just less people came out for Kamala Harris.
I mean, yeah, a lot less, but a lot of people didn't come out and vote. is the thing. A lot of people did not step out their home to vote. A lot of people were fooled by that whole, oh, she's not this and this, that, and the third, and Trump was this, and this is what happened during Trump and all this other stuff. And you guys were fooled by that. Oh, grocery prices are high. No one's even talking about grocery prices anymore. No one even cares. They're all if they're not higher right now, they're the same as they've always been. And nobody seems to bat an eye at that. You guys are acting like it's normal now. It's a normal thing. Let's keep pushing. But we see everything else is being affected by it right now. Our country's being. What'd you say?
They're still talking about the grocery prices.
I haven't heard people talking about them.
Some people can't afford groceries no more because they ain't got no job. You know what I'm saying? You lost your job. You're like, damn. Eggs was this expensive. Oh, well, now you can't afford them. Because you know what's crazy? Because you can't get food stamps now. Because all that's on pause. They're not even taking new people in. Come on now. This is comedy to me. You know why? The reason I say it's comedy to me, because I have to treat it as like being a black person in America. If I don't laugh at it, it'll drive me crazy and I'll do crazy shit. So I have to, just let it hang and just treat it the way it is.
I think you made a very poignant. You make poignant points when you say that we've already been going through this. This is nothing new to us. I hear a lot of people are starting to use that sentiment, starting to say that more. Yeah. Like after you've already said that, I'm starting to see that more. Like, hey, we've already been going through this. We've already been treated like we've already been. So it's nothing new to us. We understand all this. We know how to piece things together and put it together and make it work.
No, you can't say nothing about it. I mean, you can have those people online bitching and shit. Oh, this and this. These people are holding me down. Bootstraps, bro. We've been building houses out here. We've been taking care of ourselves. Now everybody else gonna have to try to come down to us, and you're not invited. You know who I need to get rid of in the black community? Everyone that keeps trying to invite people to the cookout, they need to go. Because I don't know why you get to come to the cookout and inviting all these weird people. You know what I'm saying? That shit pisses me off. Everything. Oh, they're invited to. No, they're not. You're not invited to the cookout.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think that right now over in when we really look at how things are going in Ukraine, I mean, just overall, it's a bad. We're in a bad way right now. We're about to lose all of our allies in Europe. I mean, we're going to lose all of our allies in the South Pacific. You know what I mean? Because they're not. I mean, Philippines, Taiwan's trying to buy a few $1 billion worth of equipment from us, trying to bring us in closer. But it's like you got to buy. If you have to buy your closest allies, your partnership, then that's not really your ally. Europe's out of here from us from now on. I wouldn't even trust us. No matter if you get a new president comes in with all kinds of great stuff, because what's going to happen in 4 years when Americans change their mind? You have over, what do you say, a quarter of the population who thinks like this. This is what they think like on a regular basis. At any given time, you guys can be pushed and pulled to vote with them or not vote at all. And this is what we get right here. This is what we get as Americans. We saw this 4 years ago. We didn't see this, but we saw what it could be. Everyone did a clown show, and now we're right back to the clown show. But now this guy he has the people around him who can understand how to make that clown show become, what is it called? Ringling Brothers. Yeah. Barnum and Bailey Circus. Take it all the way to the top.
You see Lindsey Graham, he's trying to sneak in $48 billion worth of aid in the budget deal right now.
To who?
To Ukraine.
To Ukraine or
to Ukraine? He's trying to sneak it. He snuck it in there. And he's hoping it'll pass. I mean, it's in the news, so it's not gonna make it.
They're not getting that money. I mean, Lindsey Graham understands who he's dealing with right now. $48 billion to Ukraine. There's no way they're getting that money. You think Trump's giving them any money? He's already made his deal with Russia. We all know. We knew this last time. This wasn't a hoax. This was never a hoax. The Russia hoax was never a hoax. It may not have been exactly what we saw, but he was always bought off to Russia. This has been going on for a long time. He's already been in bed with them since he went bankrupt on all those deals, and only Russian banks, Deutsche Bank and the other banks. I'm not saying that's a Russian bank, but they have ties to the Russian. Everyone knows they've been laundering money through Russia, through Deutsche Bank. Those are the banks that came out and saved him. Just like when he had his condo that he sold for like 90 million, some crazy amount of money that was way more than what it was worth to a Russian. I don't know if the person was a known gangster or something of that nature, but sold it for way more than what it was worth. We all have known for a long time he's been in bed with the Russians.
Well, it seems like this. It's like they just want the money. They don't care what happens to the rest of the world. They don't care if Russia runs it. As long as they get to run America, have the weapons, and control us and control the money. That's what it seems like it is right now. They don't give a fuck about the allies, because you see the Europe is like, we're not messing with the U.S. anymore.
Can't trust us.
We can't trust you.
They're untrustworthy. Period.
Yeah,
you're
like,
threatening them.
Because to them, they're looking at it like, it goes back to the whiteness and stuff. And then people may not like it, but it goes back to that, because they're like, look, Ukraine's one of us. Russia's like us, but we don't mess with them. But Ukraine is one of us.
Canada's
and so they're like, look, you're kind of turning your back. And so, I mean, if they were doing this to India, nobody would care. You know what I'm saying?
Just give it a minute, man. Canada, man, now they understand who we are. They're going to wait for the perfect time to backdoor us. They understand this dude is the most dangerous. This administration and the people who have voted him into power are the most dangerous thing for this country. You can never talk to me about pride in country. You don't have it. You don't care about your country. You only care about hoping that you can be the person to laugh at someone else.
It's going to be the time when it's going to be the time when they leave their homes. Because the farmer, you see especially on top of that, you see the farmers right now. They're coming out. They're losing all their subsidies. It's going to be the time when you leave your house in your truck and you go to get some gas and diesel's $20 a gallon. And you're going to try to go to the feed store so you can feed your animals or whatever you got in your house. And there's going to be half the products are going to be there and they're going to be triple what you wanted. And you're going to go home and look at the news and be like, dang, you can't blame it on the black people. You can't blame it on the immigrants. You can't blame it on the Chinese. You can't blame it on the Indians. You got to look at yourself and be like, I did this to myself.
Absolutely.